All right. Bayern Munich is taking on Borussia Monchengladbach, and that's a 12:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Bayern's the 250 favorite, no surprise there. Total's 3.5, slightly juiced to the under. The draw is plus $4, and if you like Gladbach to get the job done here, they're plus $6 to win it. And speaking of Gladbach, they're coming fresh off a 1-0 shutout loss to 8th place Freiburg. Gladbach's been victorious in just 1 out of their last 4, including a 3-1 loss to Leverkusen during that span. They were also held scoreless by 17th place Werder Bremen in a 0-0 draw. Definitely a wasted opportunity there to pick up 3 points against a cupcake of a ball club. They're taking on a first-place Bayern team who hasn't lost in league competition in 16 outings. And that includes shutout victories in 8 of those matchups. Very impressive. Bayern's 22-4 on the season with just 4 draws. Their 70 points on the year puts them 7 points ahead of second-place Dortmund and 11 points ahead of third-place Leipzig. Very dominant right now. Bayern ranks first in goals scored, along with ranking first in goals allowed. And when it comes to the total in this one, we saw 2 out of Bayern's last 3 get over the total of 2.5 goals. Meanwhile, on the Gladbach side, 3 out of their last 5 got over that number. Hey, keep it down!
Sorry.
So with all that said and done, give me Bayern Munich winning this one straight up for some pricey money line cash. Might want to include it in a parlay and the over 3.5 goals in that contest. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into some well-deserved shout-outs. You guys deserve it for sticking with me during this podcast here. But anyway, from our Patreon platform, shout out to Michael DeGrati, Tony Segure, Jacob Adams, Wayne Smith, Mike McGee, Rich Pena, Alvin Reyes, Walter Jiminson, Pat McGillis, and Felipe Silva. Next, from our Instagram platform, shout out to Joseph Robert, the fantasy football counselor, Agam Verma, Will Slade, Cosplay Bunny, Hot Boy Chris, Gabe Simple, I Am Valentine, Mitch Austin, Wei Zong Lin, and Wang Lu Chang. And finally, from our YouTube platform, shout out to Stefan Dean Lugmeyer, Roy Munson, Bo Dunn, SOP LFD Striker, David Arango, Stephen Lewis, Chris Gonzalez, Hakir, Ari Joseph, and last but certainly not least, gotta give a shout out to my man, Daniel Pacheco. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. But most importantly, guys, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information, and all this extra crowd noise and sidebar. Certainly got noisy there during the podcast, but hey, that's what happens when you're doing live TV. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Happy Friday or Saturday to you, depending on when you're watching this. Best of luck to you, and I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.